What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 1 of the Couch Coaches podcast. This is a long-awaited first episode. I'm JJ.
I'm Shane.
This is Shane. We're lifelong best friends. We call each other about sports every single day, and we talk about it. So we figured, why not? Let's just start a podcast, start talking, and share some of our thoughts with you. Some you guys are gonna love. Some you might hate, but let us know down in the comments if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, anything you guys hate. Just let us know. We're open to all opinions. So let's just get this started. Let's jump right into it, Shane. We are huge Giants fans, Shane and I, and so as you know, the Giants. We're filming this. This is September 30th. Week 4 NFL season just ended of 2025. So the Giants just started. Jaxson got his first dub in his debut. Talk to me, Shane. What'd you think about Dart's debut? The Giants, where they're at.
All right, two words. The GOAT. He's an unbelievable player. Always liked him. I'm an LSU fan, so I kind of followed his college career at Ole Miss, and you know, he's a baller. So I was kind of a little worried. You know, people were kind of saying, "Oh, he's not ready yet," or you know, he's got to sit the whole season and whatnot. But you know, it was good to see him get in the game and compete. He's a dog. I love the way he could run the ball. We didn't really have that with Russell Wilson. We had it a little with Daniel Jones, but not as athletic. So it was really good seeing a guy that could escape our offensive line and make plays happen. Absolutely love what I saw. I think he could only get better. And it's a huge win for our New York Giants. I think we're really trending in the right direction. And I think Jaxson Dart just got a whole lot of confidence after this win.
Yeah, so
right? I'm excited.
What do you think about his relationship? Obviously, we've heard a lot about like Cam Scattaboo and like the whole relationship with them two, and then you know, locker room buddies right next to each other. Like, I think watching Cam Scattaboo, like he complements Dart so well in just downhill, tough guy, the energy, the excitement. Like, you know, someone like Dart, he's got the swag. You know, he's that guy. But I think when it's your rookie, anyone is going to be. You know, it's your debut, like. Anyone is going to be like a little bit worried.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And talk to me a little bit of what you think about like the Giants offense with Dart in there, the different dynamic between him and let's say Russell Wilson for the first 3 games, and then also like for the Giants, how does Dart look moving forward?
I mean, I love the duo. They're both spark plugs. Obviously both of them are rookies. So they bring a lot of juice to the team, which I absolutely love. It kind of gives you a little bit of excitement when you watch them play, which hasn't happened in since we won a Super Bowl. So it's always good seeing 2 kids getting ready to compete and just, love football. I mean, Cam Scattaboo is the definition of I'm going to truck every single person I see. You know, doesn't care about, you know, the concussion protocol, doesn't really care about anything. So just watch a guy that just runs the football like a man possessed is just something that just kind of rejuvenates your squad, and it's that duo is going to be really scary, and I'm looking forward to see what they do in the next upcoming games.
Yeah. So, obviously, Dart and Scattaboo and everybody, but obviously, you know, while the Giants had a great game, there is the sad part of, you know, Malik Neighbors going down with his ACL. What do you think this means for the Giants? Obviously, Neighbors out for the season. Who steps up? Is there another guy? Do they go get somebody in free agency? Who's going to fill that role? How does that, obviously, you know, he got injured in the first half, so Dart pretty much played the whole game without him anyways. Mm-hmm. But how does that affect the Giants moving forward? Obviously not too much talent anyways in terms of pass catchers. So losing a guy like Neighbors, how does that affect what the Giants' potential can be for Dart and the progression of him?
Like, unlike everyone else, I actually think the Giants have a pretty good team and a good base. They got some pieces, and Obviously, we were all pumped up that the Giants won the game and everything, but obviously with Neighbors going down, it kind of ruined everything, and some would say ruined our season and kind of Dart's chemistry with our wide receiver of the future and our star player.
Totally.
But, I mean, there's things we could do. I mean, I was looking at Tyreek Hill. I was looking at Jacoby Myers and DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore, especially now, praying for Tyreek Hill and that he gets healthy again. It was a gruesome injury, and we'll talk about that later on too. But a guy like DJ Moore, who's criminally underrated, the Bears aren't really using him, so they're not really getting him involved as he should. I think he could step into a role in the Giants and produce. I mean, if you have DJ Moore, Slayton, Wandale, and then obviously the Scatabo Dart duo, I think you could really piece some competitive games and maybe make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe make the playoffs.
I think that's a stretch.
A little stretch, but maybe we're making the playoffs.
I think I liked the Tyreek Hill, obviously with the injury no longer a possibility, but I liked the Tyreek Hill idea. I don't know as much about DJ Moore. I think the Bears are in a situation is like, why would they trade him? Obviously they have him. The Bears are trending in the right direction. Obviously they got Rome and Colston Loveland, who they're not utilizing right now. But they got guys over there that they like. Like, what would be the value? I don't think DJ Moore is necessarily someone the Bears would get rid of. Jacoby Myers, obviously the Raiders are terrible too, so I don't know what benefit. I think the Giants, if I'm being honest, I think they're not going to go after anybody.
What about a Chris Olave?
The thing is, I think the Giants, right? You're 1-3. The Giants are going to have to wait a couple weeks, see what the record is on if they're going to make a decision. Mm-hmm. The Giants aren't going to go sign somebody for 1 year if you're not trying to, if you're not winning football games. There's no point. That's a decision that people usually make when, you're right on the cusp of like, trade deadline's coming. We're going to go make a run and try and win this thing. Mm-hmm. I think the trade deadline, by the time the Giants get there, even though I love Dart, I really don't think the Giants are going to be in any position to be striking at the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I think if anything, the Giants are saying, hey, league neighbors, get healthy. We're going to see what we can do with Dart, see what happens in the rest of the season, and we're going to go from there. But yeah, I mean, we talk about, obviously, Malik Neighbors' injury, and the only name that I think is cool that comes to mind that the Giants potentially would be OBJ, right?
OBJ, bring him back.
I've seen so many things, OBJ this, but I think the one thing that we got to talk about with OBJ and with Malik and everything is, why would OBJ not come back to the Giants? Because of the turf.
Yeah. He
posted about it on X right when Malik got injured. He was saying, NFL, please get rid of it.
Yeah.
Please get rid of it. And I mean, it's been what? Like 15 people have torn their ACL or Achilles since 2020. It's like 3 people a year have season-ending injuries at MetLife. It's like, at some point, you got to make a change.
And something that you have to ask yourself also is like all these, not really all these other sports, just really soccer I look at and I see, there's a lot of movement in soccer, a lot of changing direction. They're fast, kind of the same kind of movement, without the hits, obviously, but the hits aren't really, obviously sometimes they're not really the ones that are kind of popping your ACL or Achilles.
Yeah.
But what do they play on?
They
play on grass. So it's kind of like, why aren't we implementing grass or making it kind of a requirement in the NFL? Is it something to do with money? I don't think so. Is it something like, why? Like, your employees, the players of the NFL are crying out to you. It seems to be like a recurring theme, and it's something that they got to change, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting you bring up soccer because, like with football, the fear of football is, it's so physical, it's so, but what are these injuries? Achilles and ACLs, you see most of them, non-contact injuries. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why are the non-contact injuries usually the ones that are the most severe?
Yeah. And
it's just like, obviously it's not turf as a direct representation of it, I don't think, but you do got to start look at it and be like, all right, maybe why is it, it doesn't happen on grass.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is something to interest you. Obviously, we talk about grass. Obviously, it can happen. We look at Tyreek Hill. You mentioned it before. Tyreek Hill goes down in Monday night, having a great game. He had 6 catches for almost 70 yards in the first half, and then or right before he gets injured, just started the third quarter there. I guess talk to me about that game that was last night a little bit. We were watching it together. You have the Jets who terrible, right? 0-3. Dolphins terrible, 0-3.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins feel like they're starting to find something. Even in that Bills game last week, it felt like their offense started to find something. They just couldn't win.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to find something. You're up 24-10 against the New York Jets.
Yeah.
And Tyreek goes down. What does this mean for the Dolphins moving forward? You can share. What do you think about the game last night? Anything?
Yeah, I was watching that game last night, and I'm a Giants fan, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the rivalry. Jets and Giants fans don't really get along. Some of our closest buddies are all Jets fans. They're really, in my opinion, Eagles aside, they're like the most annoying fan base there is. Cowboys, but they're all fans. So it's one of those things where there's kind of a hope that these Jets fans have that they're going to win games, especially when they got Rodgers and whatnot. I was watching this Miami Dolphins versus New York Jets football game from a Giants fan perspective, and I'm like, the Jets team isn't bad. I really don't think so. I think they have a pretty decent offensive line. I think Justin Fields, his mobility and everything, I think he showed it last night on that 4th and 2. 95% of quarterbacks are getting sacked for 7 yards on that play, and he turns it into a 43-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable. So it's just like you got your Garrett Wilson, and it's just one of those things. So, like, what is it? It's, defense has played a little shaky, but not too bad. It's almost like they're shooting themselves in the foot with fumbling the ball on the goal line. And it's like, if he didn't fumble that ball on the goal line, how would that game have gone, And so you just got to look at things like that. Like, is it the team that's so bad? Is it the coaching? I don't think so. Or is it just mental lapses? I don't know. But I'm excited to see where the Dolphins are going. I mean, we'll see how they are without Tyreek Hill. What a horrible injury that was, but they did seem to click a little on that Jets defense, which was good to see.
Yeah, I think with the Jets side of things, I mean, you go from 2 years ago, right? You get Aaron Rodgers, you get the big signing. It's like, oh my goodness, finally we got our quarterback. He's going to be great. You have one of the best defenses in the NFL at the time, and 4 plays in, Aaron Rodgers snaps his Achilles, and from that point, the rest of the season is, okay, it's over, but there's still so much hope. Because, all right, Rodgers is down. He's going to come back next year. And then it just, he comes back. It's like, let's go get Devontae Adams. Let's get all these guys. You sign Randall Cobb. You sign Alan Lazard. You're signing all these guys that are specifically Aaron Rodgers signings, right?
Yeah.
They don't get any of those guys if it's not Aaron. If Aaron Rodgers isn't their quarterback.
Yeah.
So you sign all these guys that are Aaron Rodgers guys. You fire Robert Saleh, who, in my opinion, is a great coach.
Didn't agree.
I completely disagree with it. I mean, you look at he went to, where's he at? San Francisco now.
San Francisco defense. Yeah.
And it's just like he had a great defensive mind, and now the Jets fire him because why? He didn't get along with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Granted, I think Aaron Glenn is a great coach. I think he's awesome. But it's like you just make decisions just because of Aaron Rodgers, and then now Aaron Rodgers isn't there, and it's like our whole team is meant for Aaron Rodgers, and now you have a setback. Obviously, I think Justin Fields, like you said, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think if he could throw the ball half decent, if he can learn how to hit things on time, make those throws, his play extending, his athleticness is, it's just unbelievable. And I think they do have a lot of promise. Quinnen Williams, Sauce, they got a lot of guys on the defense. Garrett Williams, we saw it. He's, in my opinion, maybe one of the most underappreciated guys. I mean, we were talking about it. We're in a bunch of fantasy football leagues, and we're like, the Jets are going to be so run heavy this year. Don't go after Garrett Wilson. Yeah. We're 4 games into the season. He's got 3 games over 20 points.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson he's playing great so far, and I mean, he's talented. You got Brees Hall, Braylon out. The Jets are there, but they definitely.
Is there a curse? Is there a curse?
I think it is a little bit. I think a bunch of sports is a little bit mental. It's about a winning culture. You got guys, but is it a culture that knows how to win games? And I just don't know if they're there. When you think about we won it back. I mean, what do you hear every Jets fan? We haven't won a Super Bowl since the third one, and it's just like.
And it's also tough being little brother. You play in the same stadium.
Yeah, it's
true. Where are they playing training camp? Oh, they're in Florham Park. Your New York Giants football team is right outside MetLife Stadium. It's tough. It's tough being so close, having teams so close, and having that the better franchise and everything, and they're gonna have to. Suffer on, the 2 Super Bowls that we've experienced in our lifetime. They didn't even have face masks when they won there. So it's all this type of thing. There will always be a struggle with that franchise, but.
Yeah, but even the Jets, it's not even about the Giants being big brother. It's also about, you think about the Jets, right? Since our lifetime, they've had to deal with division, the Patriots, Tom Brady,
right.
Bill Belichick dominating their division. So you say, okay, every single year the best we're going to be is a wild card.
Yeah.
Tom Brady leaves, you're like, all right, maybe we have some hope. And then this guy Josh Allen just emerges. And you're just like, the Bills are a lock for the division every single year now too. And you're just like, as a Jets fan, it's just like,
just sucks.
We're not competing in the division. We're never going to win the division. We have to find a way to make the wild card. And when your expectations are wild card, it's a tough life to be. But I think we've harped on the Jets enough. Let's talk all NFL. Is there anybody worse than the Jets?
That's a good question. Man.
Are they the worst team in the NFL? Obviously, we think they have a lot of promise. We think they have a lot of guys, but is there anybody worse than them, or are they the worst one right now?
That's a good question, man. I feel like you could argue maybe the Dolphins are worse now without Tyreek Hill.
With the injury now.
With the injury now, man.
Healthy Tyreek.
Yeah, healthy Tyreek is, that's a huge weapon, as we all know. That guy's just scurrying around the field, just making things happen. Without that threat, I do believe that the Jets might be better now than the Dolphins. I think the Jets could beat the Saints. No, I think they're probably bottom 5 teams in the NFL, 100%, maybe 4 or 3. I'm really interested to see what they do against the Cowboys. I think they can win this game against the Cowboys.
You think so?
I think so, personally. I think that the Cowboys' offense is hot. You've seen it all year. They put up points. It's what they do. But if the if the Jets offense could just kind of figure out a way to establish that running game, keep that ball, and just get points, and then their defense just kind of maybe force a turnover or two, I think they could very easily beat the Cowboys. I really do. I think the Cowboys' defense is genuinely that bad. I really do think they're that bad that the Jets could run some points on them, and then it's just the game's going to be over a turnover or two, which will be. I'm really looking forward to it.
100%.
Big Giants fan here, but I got Jets money line. I really do.
You look at the Cowboys defense, right? They've let up 24, 25 points to the Eagles. Yeah. Then you let up 40 points to the Giants, 30 points to the Bears, and 40 points to the Packers. The Cowboys have let up at least 24 points, in every game, and letting up more than 30 in 3 out of 4 and 40 in 2. So I think the Jets should have no issue scoring on the Cowboys in terms of the run game. They should have no issue. It's really going to come down to getting a stop against the Cowboys offense. And from what we saw against the Packers defense, who I thought was after week 1, you watch them and you're like, this team is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was the biggest. The Eagles. It's an Eagles versus Lions.
Yeah.
Who's going to be back in the champion? Who's going to be the Super Bowl between the Eagles and the Lions? And the Packers after week 1, I said, I don't know if anyone can beat the Packers.
Yeah.
And then you just see it. They get into a grind-it game with the Browns, and now they seem like a different team. The Cowboys can score, and obviously, looking at the Cowboys-Packers game, there's a lot of other factors that go into that game, right? It's a Sunday night game. Micah's back. all the other players on the Packers know, look, this is a big game for Micah. For the Cowboys, no, this is a huge game against our guy. And, both coming off of, losses. So it's like they both want to win. And, obviously it ends in a tie, which I have a lot of opinions on a tie. But what are your opinions on an NFL game ending in a tie?
I don't agree with it. I'm with George Pickens on this one. George Pickens didn't even know there was a tie, such thing as a tie. He's never experienced it, and I'm not for it. I mean, it's kind of just weird. It's. I mean, the Giants could have very easily been in the same situation if Russell Wilson, just that one pick he just made. That game would have been in a tie as well. I think it just kind of takes away from the competitive. I wish they had a little bit more time to kind of decide the game instead of just having it be a tie. I'm not for it. I think you should let the players play it out and duke it out and see who's the winner.
Well, so I've heard a couple different things on what people should do. Obviously, I like the idea. I like that they've said, okay, both teams get to possess the ball. I think that's a great change. Because then it was coming down to a coin flip, which was so unfair. But in terms of, do we have a second overtime that's maybe shorter, that it's sudden death, that it's just a continuation of the first overtime? Do we have it where, we do some sort of college football format after the first overtime? If it's still tied, both teams get a chance from the 25 going in. Do you do the 2-point conversions? Just go from there? I think
college football has it right.
Yeah, I think college football has a great format. I think the NFL, I like the idea of both teams possessing the ball, but I think after that, if it's still tied, they should. I don't think they should go right to the college thing, but if it's still tied after one overtime, where can we go from here?
Yeah.
Right? You're the NFL. You're the biggest sport in America, right? And you end in a tie. No NBA game, no MLB game is going to end in a tie. That's one thing that I personally...
Nothing does besides soccer.
Besides soccer, what other sport is going to end in a tie? Maybe some fight might end in a no decision, but
that's it.
Other than that, what pro sport are we doing? And it's just these guys get paid millions of dollars and all the fans come to the games and it's just well, no one won today. It's
it's brutal.
We've got to figure something out.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Especially in a primetime game, Sunday Night Football, there's 10 million people watching it and you're no one won. It's crazy.
No, I don't like it either.
We got obviously the Eagles, right?
Yeah.
They've, 4-0.
Yeah.
They find ways to win games. Hasn't been pretty.
Yeah.
But they're finding ways to win games. The Bills beating the Ravens and then a fairly easy schedule, but they've looked dominant ever since, the third quarter in the Ravens game. They've looked dominant. Both the last two unbeaten teams. Who do you think gets a loss first out of them two?
I think it has to be the Bills, personally.
You think the Bills lose before the Eagles?
Listen, I mean, the Eagles have played, some tough teams. The Buccaneers are no easy team to beat, and then the Cowboys offense, obviously without Jalen Carter, that's a completely different team as well. Don't spit on a dude, right? So it's. I think the Bills have had it very easy, playing the Saints, playing the Dolphins, playing the New York Jets, only really playing against the Ravens, who are a pretty good team, as we can all agree, even though they got curb stomped yesterday. Chiefs whomped them, just, so it's kind of how good are the Ravens now? So it's
100%.
The Ravens were beating them really bad, it's just that Josh Allen magic at the end, but I don't think they're proven yet.
So you think?
I don't think they are.
But let's look at it, right? You got the Bills, right? They play the Patriots, the Falcons, the Panthers, and then they play the Chiefs. Realistically, their next loss is Week 8 against the Chiefs, or I guess Week 9 because they have the bye Week 7.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, the schedule.
Week 9 against the Chiefs is going to be their first loss. You go to the Eagles; they play the Giants, the Vikings, then the Giants again. probably going to win all of those.
Yeah.
The Eagles play the Packers in that week.
So it's
What
very
is that?
similar.
But the Eagles play the Packers the week before the Bills play the Chiefs because the Bills have a bye. So
I think the Eagles beat the Packers.
you do.
I do.
In Green Bay.
In Green Bay.
But then they play the Lions the next week, the same week the Bills play the Chiefs, week 9. That's a tough game. Obviously, it's in Philly, so that helps. But I just think the Bills' schedule is way too easy. I really think, and I'm just going to say this now, I think the Bills go 17-0 this season.
No.
I 100% think they do. The Bills, they only have 2 tough games.
Mm-hmm.
It's home against the Chiefs, home against the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play any other team that I see them losing to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any reason why the Chiefs, they can beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
The postseason is a different story, but in the regular season, they've had no problems beating the Chiefs. The Eagles, it's going to come down to week 17. Can you beat the Eagles? You're going to go in there 16-0. Can you beat the Eagles, in my opinion? I think they do. At home, I think they're going to have it. The Bills are going to win. And I think the Bills are going to go 17-0 this season.
Bold take. Who's their next game against?
The Bills?
Yeah.
They play the Patriots.
At Foxborough?
No, it's in Buffalo.
In Buffalo?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. In Buffalo next week,
Yes, it's on Sunday.
the Bills are losing to the Patriots.
Why?
Listen, they are not gonna take them seriously. Listen, it's the NFL. These teams.
Anyone can win on any given day.
But 41-13 is just like that team's got some fire now. That team's sick of losing to Josh Allen and those Bills, and Josh Allen's sitting on his couch right now. They're not even preparing for these Patriots. I'm telling you, they're taking them lightly.
Sunday night game.
It's a Sunday night game. Drake May's gonna have a ball game. He's gonna ball out, and they're gonna win 24-21.
No.
I
telling
think
you
so.
right now, it's not even
I feel
close.
it. It's a feeler too.
It's not even any
I
close.
feel it.
Bills, I would smash Bills money line. I'd even smash the spread probably.
No.
It's probably going to come out. I don't even know what it is right now. But it's got to be Bills all day. There's no way that they're walking in on Sunday night into Buffalo, Bills Mafia. It's Bills all the way. I don't see any way in which they lose that game. But speaking of the Bills, obviously they've looked good, but this is AFC, NFC, Bills, Eagles, right? Mm-hmm. Let's look at the AFC for a second. Are the Bills the team to beat in the AFC? Or are the Ravens, is it time to panic in Baltimore? Are the Chiefs, did they start finding something, or are they still, what do you think about the AFC right now?
Yeah, the AFC is very hard to navigate because I truly believe the Bills are a good team, but I don't think they are that good of a team. I think a lot of it's just just Josh Allen's Josh Allen, right? And he shows up in big moments, and they have had a very easy schedule thus far, and
they will the rest of the season too.
They will the rest of the season. But listen, the Chiefs look really good these past couple of weeks. I mean, they put a beat down on those Ravens, and then Mahomes, showed up against those Giants. They didn't play their perfect game, but I'm telling you, they're starting to get hot. Chiefs, you have to look out for. Ravens, well, hopefully Lamar Jackson. I hear he's set back 2 to 3 weeks, so hopefully he can get back healthy.
Thing. He'll be fine.
Ravens are. They're a very interesting team because on paper I'd say they are the best team in the AFC, but
100%.
they just don't seem to win games. Win games against Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. So I would say those 3 teams are the teams to beat. I also like the Chargers too. I know they just lost to the Giants, but I really do think that's a really good team, especially when you get Mac back. Mm-hmm. I think that team is for real, and I think they can I think they could beat anyone. To be honest with you, I hope their offensive line gets a little more healthy. I hope nothing's too serious with Joe Alt, and I think they also could beat anybody. So those are my 4 teams in the AFC that I think are the top contenders. I think the Bills will end up with the best record, though.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Bills are 17-0 this season. I think they're going to be clear number 1. I think the Chiefs are going to end up coming back and winning the division. I think once they get Rashee Rice back. Obviously, we saw what Xavier Worthy does to that offense. Like, he's so dynamic. He's so quick. I think it's a different offense when he's in there, and then it's another level when you get Rashee Rice back. I think the Chiefs are their first 2 games or whatever. They're gonna run it. They're gonna end up 14-3, 13-4, something like that. And I think they're gonna be really good. Obviously, I think the Ravens are going to turn it around. I don't think, with their record and stuff like that, it's going to be tough, especially Lamar out for the next couple weeks. I think they're going to end up, losing some games, but if you're a Ravens fan, absolutely nothing to worry about. You're going to be fine. You're going to be in the playoffs, and we know when it comes to the playoffs, all you need is to win one game, and you advance. It's no series stuff like MLB or NBA. It's just win that game, and you're good. Yeah. So I think the Bills are still the team to beat in the regular season, but I don't know. I think these Chiefs, until otherwise, I think unless your name's Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, that happened once, or Tom Brady, who's retired, you can't beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. Yeah. And so until someone else does it, I think the Chiefs are still the team to beat, despite, I think, the Bills having the best record, and I think it'll be Bills-Chiefs AFC Championship game, and we're going to see if Josh can go in there. I think Josh is going to be undefeated on the season going into hosting the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, and we'll see if he can beat them. Yeah. But let's look on the other side of the conference, or to the NFC. Obviously, we mentioned the Eagles and the Packers a little bit. Are there any other teams that you see having the potential coming out of the NFC? Anyone that's going to give either one of those teams a run for their money, or is it we can chalk it up right now, Packers, Eagles, NFC Championship game?
Yeah, I mean, the one team that sticks out to me is the New York Giants, baby. I'm just kidding. I think the Packers, the Eagles, the Lions. There's a lot. Those 3 teams in the NFC, I believe, could truly beat any team in the AFC. I think the NFC's harder than the AFC this year.
Really?
I really do. I think the Packers are really that good. I think the Lions are actually that good as well. And then you obviously have the Eagles. You saw what the Commanders did last year with Jaden Daniels. Just if he gets healthy, what they can do, and with Dan Quinn on that defensive mind, that team really could click. So I personally think coming out of the NFC, the Packers will ultimately prevail. But it's going to be a war in the playoffs. It's going to be some cold football. It's going to be some Lambeau Field football. It's going to be they're going to be dogfights. And hopefully the Giants can climb in there too.
Yeah, you think about the NFC, right? You got most likely it's going to be, the Lions, the Packers, the Eagles. The Bucks are probably going to win that division down there. And the Bucks, obviously they've had close games for their 3 wins, and then they lose to the Eagles last week. It's like, where do you, how do you gauge the Bucks right now? But I think Mike Evans should be back. You're going to have Chris Godwin and Egbuka, who's looked amazing. Yeah. I think with Baker, the way he's been playing, and Bucky, I think the Bucks are a real, not a threat, but we saw it a couple years ago when they beat Philly. So I think anything can happen with them. And then, I don't really see any other competition. Obviously, actually, the Rams. Oh. How are we forgetting LA? The Rams, I think Matthew Stafford is still really good. Yeah. Puka looks like the best receiver in the NFL right now. They got Devontae. Kyron is just old faithful behind there. And their defense is a surprise, I think, to me at least. Yeah. You see guys like Aaron Donald retire, and, people leaving, and Jalen Ramsey leaving, and, they've had all these guys leave, and they don't have those, in my mind, big name players, but they just get it done, and their defenses look great so far this year. Very
well coached, too.
Yeah, Sean McVay can coach.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he is.
So I think the NFC is completely up for grabs this year, especially the way the Lions are looking recently after their week 1. I think anyone could take it. But, yeah, I think the NFC is really interesting. I think the AFC is a 3-headed battle between Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs, and I still think the Chiefs take the crown in terms of until otherwise.
Yeah.
But in the NFC, if I had to make a decision right now, I would say the Eagles, just because they find a way to win games. It's not pretty. It's not flashy. Fantasy managers hate them, but they find ways to win games. And at the end of the day, that's what matters in the playoffs, right? So
Are the Giants making the playoffs, you think, or no?
I don't think so.
No?
I think the Giants' schedule is
hard.
too tough, and you just lost your biggest playmaker. You lack options. Your defense is solid with your D-line. Your linebackers are struggling without Micah McFadden going down, and with him going down early on, like he's out for the season. And your coverage guys, they're just so unreliable in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like Adebo. I like him. I like Drew Phillips in the slot. I think he's fantastic. I like Nubin at safety. He's great. But
that flot and
I just think
Banks.
I just think there's too many holes.
Yeah.
I think the Giants love playing man coverage,
Mm-hmm.
and they just get beat. They're not good enough, in my opinion, to play the amount of man that they do, and they just get beat a lot. So I don't see the Giants being in there. I see the Giants getting 5-6 wins, being maybe 7 wins, being like the 10th overall draft pick, something like that. I just think with Dart, they're going to win a couple games.
All faith in Dart, baby.
So I really like him.
All faith in Dart.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let us know down in the comments what you guys want us to talk about in the next episode of the Couch Coaches Podcast. Peace out.